Palin with us right now. Governor, good to have you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Neil.
Do you look at these conventions, Governor, and say, boy, 4 years flew by fast?
I look at my kids and I say 4 years has zipped by. Looking at these conventions, especially the one tonight, Neil, I'm trying to hang in there and pay attention to what they're saying. This is a bunch of bunk tonight, again, though, in this Democrat National Convention. And gosh, I'm just hoping people aren't believing that growing centralized government, allowing them to take more from all of us, and that results in taking away our initiative and more of our freedoms, is the answer to get us out of the economic woeful times that we're in. It's a bunch of bunk.
All right, that's to the point. I think just a few minutes ago, Governor, John Kerry, as I was talking to a guest here, zinged you. Guys, do we have that? Because I want to let the governor. Listen to this, Governor.
Folks, Sarah Palin said she could see Russia from Alaska. Mitt Romney talks like he's only seen Russia by watching Rocky IV.
That was a tad condescending. What did you think of that?
I think he diminished himself by even mentioning my name. How does he even know my name? I mean, aren't these guys supposed to be these bigwig elites who don't waste their time on the little people like me representing the average American who, yeah, I did say Alaska. In Alaska, you can see Russia from our land base, and I was making the point that we are strategically located on the globe, and when it comes to transportation corridors and resources that are shared and fought over, Alaska, and I, as the governor, had known what I was doing in dealing with some international issues that had to do with our resources that could help secure the nation. So it's funny that he would take a little pot shot like that, but it's funny he even knows my name.
You know what's interesting, Governor? I remember those remarks vividly when you made them, and I know what context in which you meant them. And this same party here that leaps at them wants to give the president some slack when he says something about you didn't build that. Oh, you took him out at a contest. I guess what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. But I'm curious, Governor, this ticket, and they're very galvanized here. They're very jazzed, as were Republicans last week when you and I last chatted. So both bases for both parties seem ready to go. Who do you think is more ready to go?
Well, I think, obviously, that the Republicans are more ready to go because we're facing reality. The reality is our country is on a road towards bankruptcy, towards insolvency, and we cannot go backwards to 4 more years of what Obama has put us through. Take some individual aspects of the economy, and when you hear these speakers in the Democrat National Convention these last couple of days talk about these specific aspects of the economy. They talk about, say Republicans want to wage war on women. Well, look at women in the workplace today. The unemployment numbers have increased 15% under Obama. Women are having a lot tougher time finding a job under Obama than they had under Republican policies that were trying to rein in government to let the private sector grow and hire more people. There are so many examples of these different aspects of our economy and how going backwards 4 more years of Obama's failed socialist policies will make things even worse. So it just baffles me that women would be buying into this bunk that you're hearing from these speakers these last couple of days. I think smart women know that the status quo has got to go, and the numbers speak for themselves. So I think that the Republicans, when we deal with the math, with the hard facts, with the numbers, with the unemployment numbers, and with the debt numbers, and the deficit numbers that are, out of control because we don't have a plan, we don't have a budget, even a blueprint from the federal government that will rein that in. And you look at what the Republicans have promised to do to change all that, I got to say the Republicans are more prepared to go.
You know what's interesting? You mentioned women, Governor, and yet despite among even working women, those trying to work, the higher unemployment rates for them, the higher unemployment rate for minorities, particularly for African Americans, the president still has more women in his corner than does Mitt Romney so far in the polls. He still has a lock on 95 96% of the African American vote, despite in that case a 15% unemployment rate. Why is that? If things are worse for them on just that statistical level, why are they in lockstep, if you believe these polls, with this president?
Well, you hit the nail on the head that statistically we have proof that things are worse for minorities, for women when it comes to job availability and the private sector being able to grow and thrive and allow more jobs to be created. The numbers speak for themselves. So I think it's probably an emotional tie that people in some of these demographics would want to have with this president, wanting to give him the old college try just one more time. I thought it was a shame, though, to see the button that has been advertised. In fact, I think it's on the front page of Drudge today, where it says, once you vote black, you never go back. A racist comment like that that's being celebrated at the DNC this weekend, and I'm sure that this is going to be the takeaway from this interview, and it will be, Neil, something that people will condemn me for even bringing it up. But doggone it, it's there in the Democrat National Convention. It's a button that people are wearing and celebrating. Once you vote black, you never go back. How racist can that be? People just need to open their eyes.
I've seen the button.
They need to open their eyes, and they need to crunch the numbers. They need to do the math, and they need to do what's right for their kids. What's right for their kids is to vote in a new team of leaders who understand what it will take to turn things around. We do not need to embrace the status quo. We have a choice. We don't need to enable and reward the failed policies of this administration. We do have a choice.
Governor, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neil.